Prem Saloma Pati Mahadeva Ki Jai. Sitaram everybody, and welcome to our third night of Yagna, dealing with Shiv Baba. As we get ready, as the Sanatanis is preparing for Shivratri, we celebrate in his glory and in his wonderful discourses. Bhagavad Gita speaks about when a true devotee, when a true bhakt gets to hear and gets to relish into the discourse of their Lord. Dasanam, when you hear Tulsi Das, Krishna Das, all these names Das, that Das means I am weak, I am a servant. And when I hear about my Lord, I find joy. I admit that He is greater and I am less. Do you practice that? We talk about we believe in God. We say that. But sometimes we become the God. The car becomes the God. The house, the riches, the spouse, that is the God, because that is what you focus on. That is what you worship. What is the God in your life? Tonight as you are viewing, if you're watching on the repeat, tell me what's the God. Many people are saying Sitaram Baba, hello everybody. I love you all, everybody, Sitaram. But let's get into it. What is the God in your life? Are you a bhakt of Lord Shiva? Are you Shambhu Das in your heart? In your heart, you hear people say, I am, Keshava Das, I am Yadav Das, and you hear the Hare Krishna people profess that they are the Dasi. Hanuman is the Dasi of Sri Ram. He worships him, he serves him, he wants to do his bidding, he wants to do his work. That is what that Das means. But are you a bhakt of Lord Shiva? Are you really into your worship? Or do you do it for superficial reasons? The cool thing, we're having Shivratri, so I must go to the temple. I must sing a song. I must do something for others to see. Is it really coming from you? Is it from your heart? And I'm asking a question you have to answer. Is it really from you? Because what might apply to one person may not apply to another individual. So guide me tonight. Leave me a text, everybody. Send a comment, share the satsang, like. If you are watching on YouTube, subscribe to the channel so that you will know when more and more Yagna is coming. I had a long day drinking something warm for the throat, everybody. Forgive me. For now, tonight we'll deal with when people don't know their Lord Shiva. When people don't know what they're doing, how even prayers under those circumstances could bring trouble. And who is the test? Who is the teacher? Who is the guru? When we call one of the names of Lord Shiva, as we are teaching and learning about Lord Shiva, if you knew it, God bless. I'm reminding you. And if you didn't know, remember this. Sometimes we lose parents, sometimes we lose gurus, our Vidya guru, our Diksha guru, the guy who whispers the prayer in our ear. And we say, okay, I've lost my guru. Who is going to guide me now? Who takes up that role? Always remember, Lord Shiva. He is called Jagat Guru. Many bhajans, stotra, you hear him being referred to as that. And what that means, Jagat simply means the world, Guru. Anybody, everybody, the entire planet, the orbit. When they're calculating time in Vaman Puran, in Kurma Puran, when they're talking about the spinning of the earth and the tilting of the axis, causing differences in long days, short days, but the earth is as it was stable. But you have a difference in the daylight time and the night time in some places. Those things are attributed to his guidance. Lord Shiva is that person called Jagat Guru. And in the absence of our natural mother, father, Diksha Guru, Vidya Guru, your teacher die, you're disowned, you're put out of the class, whatever, Lord Shiva becomes that substitute teacher to teach you what you need to know. In Gita we hear about Sat Chit Anand. That chit, that word, imagine, it is the voice that speaks to us. You know what? You have to get up early in the morning, don't watch that TV. I have to go and cook okra. Maybe I should go and cut it up. I need to do this, I need to do that, I have to do that. The memory, the person that is still, you know what? This road is going to have traffic, let's take this way. I don't want to wear this shirt, I want to wear that shirt. Something is always talking to you. Something is always guiding you. Something is always whispering to you. That chit, that unseen voice that somehow guides your every act is attributed to Lord Shiva. That chit, in other religion there are terms, Holy Spirit, guiding angel, all these things are there, but in Hinduism we call him Mare Baba, Lord Shiva. Tonight, I'm faced with some questions. We have to talk about why is ashes, where did this ashes, what is this ashes that we talk about, the bhasma. If we go to Sai Baba Ashram, we'll get vibhuti. What is this vibhuti about? As we serve to learn about Lord Shiva a little more. When I talked about the Naga Sadhu on the first day, why do they cover their body in this ash? Why do they look like white? What is that? So that is a major point tonight. Then secondly, where did it come from? Obviously. And even in this murti, in your pityas at home, in your murtis at home, I saw Lord Shiva wearing tiger skin. In some discourses, he's told to be sitting on elephant skin. He has a snake around his waist. And it seems as if, first glance, so the animal had to die for that to happen? Think what I'm saying, correct me if I'm wrong. The animal had to die? So, where's the compassion in that? Let's agree, we don't know the story. Tonight, permit me to indulge you in that discourse, to elucidate and bring to light this discourse. Why does this man have all these things? What is that about? Not to be confused with the snake around his neck. That's a different story. The one around his waist. Ganesh Baba has it when the moon laughed at him, causing the shrap but watching the full moon. He had the snake around his waist there, similar to what Lord Shiva has. Tonight, our discourse spans many texts, and I want to discuss that because sometimes people get confused and we have to go to the truth. Tonight, part of our discourse has to deal with when we are doing prayers. We're doing the prayers, but we're doing it wrong. What is the intrinsic message? Tonight, everybody, as we get ready and we get set, put your hands together as we are about to enter into discourse tonight as we learn another wonderful discourse of our Shiv Baba. Simple prayer, everybody join with me, let's go. Gajananam Bhutaganadi Sevitam Kapeta Jambu
Kalachara Bhakshita
Uma Sutam Sho Kavinashkarakam Namami Viganeshwara Padapankajam. Mother, today is your day. Today is Friday, Shukrawar in the calendar. Mother, as we worship tonight, may you allow your children to understand the discourse that is coming and bless their memory, that this might remain there, so that if when Shivratri is coming, their mind go here, there, they might remember something about their God. Allow them to have the imagination and the mental strength to imagine their Lord and hold Him in their mind. Davy, with your blessing, anything is possible. Tonight, your children have been given the opportunity to listen to the discourse of Shiv Baba, and in the run-up to this Shivratri, there are so many reasons. There's war, there's discord, there are difficult times in this world. Dear Lord, some people are jumping and some people are bawling. Mother, please listen to the prayer of your children. And tonight, grant their desires. Sarva Mangala Mangalye Shive Sarvat Sadhike Sharanye Trayambike Gauri Narayani Namostute. Om Guru Brahma Guru Vishnu Guru Devo Maheshwara Guru Sakshat Param Brahma Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. The Shiv Manas Stotra calls upon him in your mind. Bid him, worship him in your mind. Ratne kalpitamasanam himajale snanam cha divyambaram nanaratna vibhushitam rigumada modankitam chandanam jati chambaka bilvavatarachitam pushpam chadupam tadhat deepam devadaya nidhi pashupati Rikalpitam gruyatam savarne navaratna kandarachite patre gritam payasam bhakshayam panchavivedam payodadi yutam ramavalam panakam shakanam yutam jalam ruchikaram Karpur kanduj jwalam tambulam manasamaya virachitam bhakta prabhu svikara prabhu. Together. Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Everybody, one more time. Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Umapati Mahadeva ki jai. In tonight's discourse, as I said, we are talking about some of the secrets of Lord Shiva. And Sura, there's an old book called the Sura Puran. It's from the southern part of India, where Natraj is more popular. And in the form that we see where his hands are in the dancing posture, where the Tandav dance is being done, I got a question, everybody, and it was a very valuable question. And Mommy Baba, get ready with your picture there. I need you to see the picture and then you'll understand the question, because it confused some people. So there's this picture, watch it. So if you look at Lord Shiva now, this is my own printed picture and Mommy Baba is just holding it in front of the camera. So forgive me if it's not perfect. Watch Lord Shiva, we know him. We see the left leg in that posture, in that Anand Tandav. His hands are doing different things. We'll deal with that another night. That's not the focus. But we see he's standing on somebody's back. Now in this particular picture, please note the mustache. So it is not a child. It is not a child. Right? It seems to be, it looks kind of scary. So maybe he's a demonic person, some person. Lord Shiva is suppressing this individual. Right? Okay, good. We saw it. I'll post it on Facebook and TikTok for you to have a better look. Colored picture and so on. But the question I got was a very good one. Why is Lord Shiva dancing on the back of a baby? Because in some pictures, in some murtis, because they cannot see the features as clear, especially in the 10th century, 9th century old statues and stone, I'm saying murtis that exist not only in temples but in all types of places. When places are being excavated even till today, in the Indus Valley in 9th century, 8th century, things are coming out that are buried under the earth. This Natraj Murti is very popular. It is, you see it all over the place, and you see Lord Shiva is in, in this multi-handed, and one day we'll discuss what the hands represent and all that. But we really don't know much about it and where it came from. So tonight in our discourse, we're going to discuss that in a very important scenario that is going to play out in our text, so that we could be clarified, we could be a little clearer in our understanding of Lord Shiva. Because bear with me, I know you love to do your Lord Shiva. I understand that you know about that lingam. I understand that there's an attachment, that he is your God. I agree. But let us also agree that there's some gaps, that we don't understand who is that under his feet. I don't understand why he does some of the things he does. It's different. The artist sometimes, let's agree, the artist, the computer graphics person, try to make him look all sweet and smiling, and the truth is, Lord Shiva is a scary person. His features are different. He doesn't do like me and you. He wears skulls around his neck. People who follow the agoric side, and we'll deal with that. What is agora? The agoric side of Lord Shiva's worship. Those type of people go to the funeral ground in Varanasi and those type of places, and they take the body that is burning in the fire and they eat that flesh, because that is offered in his place. Everything is given back to God. Isn't that what we say? We give the body back to God. So when it becomes offered, it becomes prasad for some of them. It is different. But if you have the time, research it, read up on it. Agoric sadhu, agoras, people that follow that form of Lord Shiva. That's a different form. And I'll teach you about it. So you'll know. I don't believe in that type, trust me. But those people, they would put human bones in their hair. He wears human skulls. Munda mala, when you Jai Shiva Hom Kara, and you hear Akshamala. Akshamala means the mala of eyes. This Aksh, Rudraksh means, Aksh means the eyes of Shiva, the teardrops. Do you remember that discourse? We did that. When Sati Devi is gone and Mahadev Baba is in the sky and he's crying, wherever his teardrops fell, this Rudraksh, the tree, grew. The reason why we hold on to this thread, this bead so ardently, because it is said that wherever his teardrops are, it is as if he is there. So for the Hindu tonight looking on, and I really don't know why the Pandit make me put a Rudraksh mala in my car. This is why. Because it is as if he's there with you. When the Baba wears it, he's wearing it for protection. The Baba is protected by Lord Shiva. Why not you? Why not you have the same thing? Don't we have it in bracelet form? Some people have them in earring form. The eyes is what important. So that is why we have Rudraksh. And with this, it comes rules, the different faiths. We did that already from the Rudraksh Upanishad, talking about why we have different faiths, what is the benefit, how to hold it. Shivratri is coming, we need to make sure we know how to hold this. Otherwise, for example, the rule, just to run over what we already did, hold it on your middle finger, never touch the index, and pull with your, or push with your thumb, right? When you do this incorrectly, you lose the merit of your job. For example, the protection that charges this on your body. Lord Shiva, Mahadev Baba is crying, so we have this form, the Rudraksh. But when Mahadev Baba is in the Natraj form, when he is in this form, agoric form, they adorn him. If you see the murtis that exist with that Munda Mala, where he says, I collected the skulls of Parvati. That's nice that, you know, it's Parvati Mata. Nonetheless, it's skulls. In some parts, when they do in the agoric again, just the exposure to it, I'm not saying we do press like that, by no means. They use a skull, human skull, as the Tariya to do the arti. Everything belongs to him. It might sound weird to me and you, we use a deer or a coconut. In some Shakti worship, they put it inside the coconut. But what is the coconut? The coconut is simply, at that time, why do they put the camphor in it? Understand that when the coconut is whole, it has a light, it has an energy, it has the potential energy from the coconut to sprout into a tree. Agreed? So when you break the coconut, you are saying, dear God, I offer you the life, the energy of the coconut. That is what is happening. Some people used to do that different. Some people still, they take the bakri or the goat or different animals and they offer the life. Dear Lord, please accept it. This is my offering. Okay, good. And then, when the life leaves the body, it's dead, right? So in the coconut case, it is a lifeless body. What was alive, what was filled with energy, you are offering arti. So in the same way, they use the skeletal system in the agoric, where they use, you see it in TV shows, they might put a candle on the head, depending on the type of tantric prayer they're doing. Or they put the camphor and they do the arti. And that's why we do it. It's just we do it in a different way. We're using coconut or our diya where we use this. And we say, dear God, we offer you the light. But this energy exists in different forms. This Lord Shiva has so many different stories and intricate discourses that if you listen and learn you would learn so much. Tonight we're talking about the importance of doing prayer properly, knowing Shiva. It literally says to know him. So that when you do it, you're not fooling yourself, you're not fooling anybody, you're not trying to impress nobody, you're not doing it for the wrong reason. Else what will happen is you may not get what you're looking for. Have you ever, for those people looking on tonight, please share the satsang for everybody. Have you ever done prayer and you prayed and you were really you wanted something, but it didn't come? Sometimes, as we learned last time, when the daughter of Lord Shiva is given the husband Nahush, she did not know it was 20 yugs down the road in the Vrishni, the son of Vrishni would come Krsna. That in the line of the Yadhu starts with them, the daughter of Lord Shiva, by his Leela. But Lord Shiva is the person looks and he has vision. You know, sometimes when people talk about chamar and chamar and chamar, people use that word and it confuses people because chamar is on leather, a person who beats the leather to make shoes. How does that translate into a low caste or a person with low vision? Think about it this way. I live across the road from a guy by the name of Uncle 100%, and he explained this to me lovingly one evening. He says it has to do with divine for children, eyesight, or vision for adults. Please understand. The person who is fixing his shoe has ace-type vision to hit that nail because he doesn't want to hit his hand. He's a very good shoemaker, chamar. But his vision is limited to the head of that nail. He can't see tomorrow, he can't see what is around him, he can't see danger coming, he cannot see 10 years down the road. But whatever he's doing, he does that. Very good. But the person who has more vision, drishti, will not see the tree, will see the forest. The person can dress back and see the bigger picture, can understand the ramifications of their choices, their actions, activity. But when a person limits themselves to only certain thoughts, certain actions, certain deed, then they are going to meet a surprise down the road because they did not think or see trouble coming. They did not think that things could change or things would not always be comfortable. That sickness, old age, whatever, however you want to apply that analogy, it could come. So sometimes when somebody asks me about chamar today, when you hear people talk about that, think about it like that, because that's the truth. The word means the shoe man. That's all. So that's that. To answer that question from Richard. Tonight, as we get into our text, get ready because we're going to talk about some things that hit home a little bit, right? Everybody throw your hands as we do Sumaran. We'll be entering into piece of Shiv Puran. We'll be touching in. This is the Kurma Puran. We have to talk about Brahmanda Puran tonight. One discourse. So time again this week. Let's do Sumaran, and I want you to close your eyes. And Madhya Baba, the energy is building. Nothing is going to stop me from doing my prayers on Shivratri night. Many people are joining with the ashram in our online Shivratri. For the elders, for the sickly, for the infirm, for those people in quarantine, because there are people still in quarantine, for those people that are praying because of war-torn areas, if you live in the States or wherever you might be and you have relatives being shipped off to war. They're not officially engaging in war, I agree, but they're positioned in Germany, in France, in different places, and they are poised for an attack. We already seen the rising in the oil price, the gas price going up. People cannot get mirrors, companies that sell mirrors shipping is already halting. Dear God, so much to come. We don't know. Just as when the COVID was coming, we didn't realize the true danger. Some people were still going on vacation, all kind of thing. We did not see how long this problem was going to be and how long it is going to last. And it's so funny. It seems as if COVID is disappearing now. Just as Carnival has come, COVID is disappearing, it's gone. And now war, and dreadful type of war, not no little bit of conflict. Dear Lord, people are dying. Prabhu, we pray in the ashram as a family. We pray for all your children. And if you, wherever you might be, if you cannot physically reach, regardless of the reason, please send me a message tonight. If here on Facebook, WhatsApp me, send me a message so that you can join. I can include you, and through the Zoom app, I can include you in the Shiv Puja. Everybody, let's sing for Lord Shiva. As we glorify you, Mario Baba, help me to understand what is about to be released. By my karma, I'm here. By my karma, you have allowed me to be here. Bless me to remember it. Gauri Shankar Pada Kamala Prema Sahita Hiyale Srimad Shambhu Puran Ke Bhasha Rachu Shuva Shruti Sambedanadi Shiva Samba Sachidanand Nirguna Brahma Vilakaye Dhyayami Sukhakan Jahi ke Maya Paya Jagat Bhaupalan Layo Shambhu Shambhu Jasuvalat Pavat Gauravadoi Tiniko Madhav Ravigana Desha Shiva Yutadhyan Prema Sahita Kara Jola Kara Sabahi Nava Ushes Gauri Shankar
Parakamala Prema Sahita Siyale
Srimad Shambhu Puran Ke Bhasha Rashtahu Shubham Umapati Mahadeva Ki Jai. Tonight we enter into a discourse that deals with Mario Baba, starting off in untold grief. He is placed in the position. He is placed into a position because of something that happened. And when this happened, he's lost. In this Leela that you're about to hear, you know the story. It begins with the Yagna of Daksh, his father-in-law. Sati Devi has already burned herself, and the word has reached back to him. In some texts, such as Kurma Puran, Vaman Puran, thank you, he is described as accepting to go for bhek. He's begging. He has a bowl. Sometimes when you see Lord Shiva, if you see him in the Natraj form, you will see a bowl in one of his hands. This is where that bowl came from. The other place that bowl comes from, but it is shown as a skull in some murti, is when Bhairo Baba, Batuk Bhairo, had cut off the head of Brahma. The fifth head that you see Bhairo holding in his hand is not that he wants blood or anything. In that form, that is the fifth head of Brahma that had told the lie. That form, when people do that puja, if you are in a marriage, if you are in a relationship and there are stories, there's lies, send me a message. There's a mantra you use in praise of Bhairo Baba and the person is regulated. Once you open the beach, the prowess of that mantra, the person has to tell the truth. Children have to tell the truth. Anybody wants that you have to meet with them, let's say like the owner of a business, just as how people do Satyanarayana, Brat, Katha and Puja, and they get the darshan that when somebody stands up, boy, I can't lie to you, you know. I have to tell you the truth. That type of effect, same with Lord Shiva. The bowl, he was described as delirious. There's a discourse where Lord Shiva held on, Lord Vishnu holds on to him as he's rolling. There's some people that they do a vrat for Lord Shiva. You see it sometime on the YouTube. It's coming out of India. We don't do it in the Caribbean. And the person rolls, their whole body. and they roll in the temple. They do it in holy ground as the dirt is masawe in the body as to get praschit, or what we spoke about that first night. Remember praschit karma? Forgiveness. You see people doing it. But it began with Lord Shiva. He was rolling as he was wailing for her. He wanted her. He loved her. And Lord Vishnu comes as a friend. See it in your mind. Holds Lord Shiva under his arms and pulls him to his back. And he takes his 2 feet and holds on him, because this is Mahadev. This person has so many roles. He has so many jobs to do. And now he's playing the part as a husband that has lost his wife. He's a widower in this moment. And he's showing how a husband must love a wife. And what did he do? He walked away from his home. And he's going from place to place begging for food. He tried the householder lifestyle at that time. He dressed in gold to accept this Devi. She's the granddaughter of Brahma, Sati Mata. This divine entity came into his life, and he opened up himself, and he got hurt. And after all the war and beating his father-in-law and all that was over, Virabhadra destroys the Yagna, and all the lessons therein. After all that, he is still grieving. There is where we start, with the grieving. I did this before. It's on YouTube. I'll touch on it again in the Shiv Puran Koti Rudra Samhita chapter 12. It talks about where the lingam first is formed. Where does he get that? Where do we get that lingam? Shiv Baba receives shrap. Tonight we'll hear more about that. And the lingam falls from his body. Lingam translates into the male private. And in that organ, when it falls, all the devatas go to Devi and beg her mother, take form and hold that lingam. Why does the lingam look the way it does? This is that discourse. Let's enter. As we enter into Kurma Puran, Uttara Bhaga, Kand, chapter 38. He is walking and he's entering into somewhere, and trouble is going to come. Jai Bhole Baba Tab Sharanam, 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 Jai Samba Sada Shiva Tar Sharanam, Katha Duruvan Praptyato Bhagavan Griha Ye Brishtava Mahodeva Yamayetam Bhiksha Shana Ye Mahatyam Jaya Bole Baba Tav Sharanam Jai Bole Baba Tav Sharanam Jai Bole Baba Tav Sharanam Jaya Samba Sada Shiva Tav Sharanam Pura Durvane Ramya Deva Siddhi Sheshyate Saputra Dharaye Tanayascha Ye Mahasale Ye Yati Jaya Bole Baba Tav Sharanam 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 Jaya Samba Sada Shiva Tav Sharanam Jaya Samba Sada Shiva Tav Sharanam Umapati Mahadeva Ki Jai. Tonight get ready everybody. There is this forest that is called Daru. So the Daru Vana translates into the forest that is called Daru. The question that the Rishis are asking Sutji and the holy field of Naimisharanya, how did Lord Shiva, the person who has a flag, his banner is of a bull, fascinated, the one that fascinates the Brahmanas because he does some strange things in his different avatars, his different forms. Whilst entering that Daru forest, pine wood forest, pine trees, what did he do when he went there? What happened? What was the outcome of that? Please tell us. Sukdev Goswami says, whosoever should listen to this discourse, their shishya, their children, let them walk with the darshan, Let them know that they have the tej, the fire of Shiva within them by listening to it. Long ago, in earlier times when the world was younger, in early Yuga, when Sati Mata burns herself, in that beautiful place of the Daru Forest, there resides the devatas, the siddhas, thousands of sages go there to do penance. And they lived with their wives, their sons, their family, their dear ones. And they were engaged in doing various rigorous type of religious acts that were not in accordance with scriptural injunction. Great sages performing great amount of sacrifice, penance, offering things that are not relegated in scripture in the fire, doing harm to their body, doing all types of atrocities to women, to children, doing all these things in the name of God. This is what was going on there. And in it, they called this prayer to Shiva. They said that they were doing Shiv Puja. Now, remember we spoke about this last night. I could be doing Hanuman Puja. Let's make it simple for children. You could be doing Hanuman Puja. You would put up a red flag. I would put up the red flag. You sit down and you pray, Hanuman Baba, bless me and bless my neighbor across the room. I would pray, see that neighbor here, Hanuman Baba beat him, mash him up. But I put up the same red flag. I have done puja. So is it possible to do prayers and not be as positive? Did Ravan not pray to Lord Shiva? Did he not have his own lingam? There is a Ravan lingam. I'll give you that tomorrow night. People can do puja and get bad out of doing the same puja because they accrue sin. So these people in this Daru Forest, sages, they had their malas on, they were doing the mudras, right? They had the zaneo, they did all of this, but children blood was being sacrificed. The hair that the women would grow, they would dip it in ghee, different mantras, tie knots and offer it into the fire. They would sit on beds of nails. They would punish their body. They would punish, and I'm summarizing some verses here. They would punish their body. So G is describing in the coming verses how they damage the bosom of the woman, the private, what we would call circumcision for a woman, so that there is no room for you to enjoy anything sexually. They did these things. These things did happen in primitive times in India. But everything is being done under the banner that this is what Lord Shiva wants. And it have fanatics that talk like that. God wants you to do these things. God wants you to hurt the other person. God wants you, when you do that, God loves you. When you hurt people. Remember, as a Sanatanist, our God teaches love. Love all. Patience with all. Right now, I'm doing this satsang and I have a music truck across you. And it is competing. If anybody hears any music in the background, that is what that is about. Patience, tolerance. We have to be able to do that. That is part of who you are. Lord Shiva now decides in his Leela to go and to teach these sages that what they are doing is not appropriate. In this Leela, so Jesus says to them, the Lord wanted to teach them a lesson, teach the world a lesson, to show who he is, who he represents, and what he expects. And when you do your own thing, that may not be the best thing. In Bhagavad Gita, it talks about the three modes of worship, Sat, Rajas and Tamas. And even in worship, puja, yagya, there is sattvic, that which is regulated by scripture, tamasic, that which is not bounded. It has no bearing in text, but feelings. So for example, just to be on the same page with you, someone told me, well, Baba, me are bound to fast. Prayer's coming up. My question is, hey, you're fasting, preparing. Baba, me I have to fast. So I know it's something, I wait to laugh. Baba, God is coming for what in my heart. And that's what he wanted to say. Devotion. If I show my God love, He's happy. That is what they say. I say, right, correct, I hear that too. God is coming for what in the heart, not what in the stomach. So I will eat hog, dog, whatever, yesterday, and I will do prayers today. Some people, and that's just an example, some people live by rules like that. Well, the food is fresh, the person 10 days old, it's jutta. I go in and do my prayers with that. God know the best. God go forgive me. God go love it. God, 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 God. And you speak for God too. That is what you call tamasic prayer. If you want to get the best or the most appropriate outcome of prayer, this is where you strive to do sattvic prayer. And you follow the rules that are given in the scripture. If you don't know the rules, you ask and you find out from your guru. What is to be done? How is it to be done? When is it to be done? So that you'll be able to prepare properly. Time came for him to clarify, to enlighten these sages, because what was their thought? They knew more than the scripture. Those books, those Ved, those things don't pertain to us because we are more elevated. We know more than all of them. Let's hear what happens. It is now time for Lord Shiva to go roaming in this helpless, as if he's helpless, in this Leela, in this game. We dealt with it in Shiv Puran. I'm going back there because there's a twist to it in this text. He's going, but who is following him? Remember, Lord Vishnu is watching him very clear. There's a twist to this where Lord Vishnu does not trust Lord Shiva. Is found in Shiv Puran. The body of Sati Mata is burning and Lord Shiva is holding on to the body and he's watching her burn in his hand and he's going all over the universe. And Lord Vishnu realizes that he has to deal with that body. And when he shoots the arrow to destroy the body of Sati, one of the breasts of Sati Mata fell in Varanasi. Until today, bodies are burnt there. Different gut that was created in Varanasi came from the falling pieces of her body. That discourse, we dealt with it. Lord Vishnu does not want, if you have a question, everybody send me a question. Lord Vishnu does not want to trust Lord Shiva. He doesn't want to leave him alone. So when Mario Baba takes on the role as a beggar, Lord Vishnu takes the form as Mohini. Mohini, the goddess, the enchantress, the female. The one that nobody could resist when there was churning the ocean. The Wali time we talk about that Samudra, the churning of the ocean, when Lakshmi Mata and all the other things, that the halal poison is coming out. She is formed there for the first time, but she has other rules, and this is one of them. He is walking with her, and they are going into the forest, but Lord Shiva in front with the begging, Bhikshandehi, Bhikshandehi, and he's going. Let's hear what happens. Lord Vishnu takes into this form as if she's a 20-year-old, developed the body, wearing all the bright clothes, all the gold, all the, let's say makeup, all the different things to highlight the attributes of this female form. Lord Shiva is looking as a tattered, dirty, grimy, older individual. He has the peanut bow with him, strung across his back, but he is lost. And in this way they walk in to where in this forest there's this ashram. All the men at this time, the rishis, have gone to have bath in the river before coming to do their worship. Let's hear what happens as the ladies receive Mahadev Baba in this form. They are home. Somebody comes knocking at the front door, as it were. Let's hear what happens. Ai Shivaratri Bambola. Sitting at home, I remember my dear Auntie Vashti Ramcharita from Baje. She sang this song and I fell in love with it. God bless that soul wherever she is. Bless her family. Sing with me tonight as we glorify Lord Shiva. Ai Shivaratri Bambola, Shiva Shivaratri Bambola, Ai Shivaratri Bambola, Ai Shivaratri Bambola, Shiva Shivaratri Bam Bola, Bola Bola Bam Bola, Bola Bola Bam Bola, Bola Bola Bam Bola. Ay Shivaratri Bam Bola, Ay Shivaratri Bam Bola. Shiva Shivaratri Bam Bola, Sampuran Chandradhayetam, Mohini Rupa Sundarayatam, Dvijaya Suchiya Stititam Suprat, Ye Suprasandarana Purak, Ye Suprityatam Asana Dvija, Shamal Charu Ye Chatam.
आये शिवरात्रि हम बोला, आये शिवरात्रि हम बोला, शिव शिवरात्रि हम बोला,
शिव शिवरात्रि बम बोला. ऋषियात् पुत्र ये सूर्य, योयुर्वानो जीतम येता, आवनागमय ऋषिकेशम, सर्वे कामा ये प्रसिद्धः. आये शिवरात्रि बम बोला,
आये शिवरात्रि हम बोला, शिव शिवरात्रि हम बोला,
शिव शिवरात्रि बम बोला. प्रेम से बोलो उमापति महादेव की जय. Everybody forgive me for my throat. I go in all day today, and trust me, my throat. Mommy, Baba watching. Oh Lord. Mahavishnu is in his female form. Lord Shiva is in his form. It is similar to what we consider the agoric. Very grimy. They have no appreciation for the finer looks, the prettiness, those things. Some people would say they're scary looking. The hair doesn't get combed every day. It's matted. What we call this jata is really matted hair that is wrapped. It is not maintained. The vanity of hair. Just like what you hear from Islam, the hair has value. This hair is removed in our prayer certain times. It is covered in certain times, and it is not maintained when you reach that point where you renounce that vanity. Lord Shiva is an example of that, especially in this case. The sages had been filled with this pride that they have the best wife. They have wives, swaminis, that consorts that are of a higher caliber, beyond passion, beyond jealousy, beyond grief, beyond lust. They are something to boast about. Their sons, the younger ones, the next generation coming up, they are beyond any type of passion or wandering or anything like that. Lord Shiva and Lord Vishnu came to teach them, to show them, to break their pride. Lord Shiva came in the form of this actor, and he is dancing slowly as if he is hearing his music, and Mohini walked as if time slowed for her. And in the absence of the husbands of this ashram, they walked into the hermitage in the Daru Forest. All the women came, all the children came, someone come. So they went to see what it is. And all of them saw Madhu Baba, and they became by his maya, they became attracted to him. He's so nice. Oh, you are so alone. When they inquire, why is he grieving? Why are you begging? Why are you in this position? I have lost my wife and I have lost all bearing. I'm going insane. I'm traveling. And he's talking about his wife. But other women are looking at him and finding pity on him. They are becoming more and more sympathetic to him. The young boys started gape at Rishikesh, another name for Lord Vishnu. And they are starting to have lustful thoughts. She's so beautiful. She is so perfect. I've never seen somebody so pretty before. And in that moment, Lord Vishnu disappears. In that time, Lord Shiva is still there. And all the Munis come back. On returning to begin maybe their Sandhya or their Puja, they see all their women folk, all their children, all the boys are looking helplessly to find where the girl had gone. That fascination is so enticing, it is so strong that they cannot realize that she disappeared. They don't know, they're looking on the trees, looking around to find her. She's hiding from us. She's here, where could she go? She must be an angel, she's a deity, she's a Devi, she's an Apsara, she's a Gandharva. Let's find her. And they, like wildebeest that is hunting for water. These so controlled people. And the fathers are watching. The sages became very angry. They having matted locks because their life was in their worship, their version of worship. They pronounced a curse on him. That, oh, Om Bhiksha, oh, you who supposed to be a beggar, why have you come here to acquire another man's wife? We are here performing with our wives, the tapasya, the dhyanam, all these things. Did you come here to perform tapasya? Did you come to the hermitage to do prayers? Well then put on clothes. Give up your wife. Give up her memory. Don't hold to her. Lord Shiva is trying to explain what's going on. That he's innocent. I just came here to beg. They came to me. I hold nothing. I keep to nothing. I have nothing. That is why I'm naked. Give up your wife. Give up her memory. And put on clothes. Shiva says, the only thing I have is the pinak. This bow. He smiles. Knowing that Mahavishnu is there invisible, he looks at him, being aware of dharma, peaceful in mind. Why have you asked me to disown my wife? And the Rishi says, the woman who follows the evil path, she has to be disowned. Meaning, he told them that she had committed suicide. She burnt her body. And because of that, that is not a good thing. Do you think that happened just so? Sometimes we don't deal with that. This is why, because of that act, when Parvati Mata comes in that form, she cannot have children via normal pregnancy. And there's a discourse where Krishna has to come as Ganapati, taken from Brahmavaivat Puran, Ganapati Kal. And she says, because of my karma, because of my deeds, I am in this way. And Parvati Mata has children, but not born from her body. He says, that type of person does not have noble characteristics. Therefore, you, oh beggar, you should never keep such a person. Mahadev Baba says, oh Brahman, this woman is never, she never in her mind never desires anyone else. How can I leave her? In my mind, how could I put somebody else here? You are accusing me of your women. And I'm telling you that there's no space in my mind. That I only have space for my one spouse. That girl is so much, that woman is so much, that Bhavani is so much, that she is filling me even now. Oh, degraded person, Rishi now, speaking to him. We have witnessed what your intentions are when we reached here at the right moment. You have come under the guise of begging for alms. But look what you are doing in your nakedness. You are infecting the women folk here. Prem se bolo Shri Vishnu Bhagwan ki Jai, Mahapati Mahadeva ki Jai. They chastise him. They treat him very badly. Shiv Puran at this time, this is where they give him shrap that you, if your wife is no longer alive at that time, she's no longer there. They're not seeing. You have to understand this. They're not seeing him as a divinity. They're not seeing the Shiva in him. These great and advanced sages that have so much, drishti and power, cannot see God is standing in front of them. So they speak to him, they admonish him, as if he be a mortal. Well, if you have no wife, then you see your private, that sexual organ, you don't need it. Let it fall. And in Shiv Puran, the lingam falls from his body. And in it, there in that moment, according to Shiv Puran, as it is falling, it is burning everything. It causes destruction. A lingam is a funny thing. Always remember this. A lingam, when it is installed properly, when the worship is done, when the pratishtha is done, it cannot be moved. When you worship him and you call him there, it's different from the murtis that we have. That lingam was falling, and the lingam is really just the main part. That is the lingam. That part that holds the lingam, with the runoff, the base, all that is something else. Brahma and Vishnu go with all the devatas quick when it starts to burn, and I'm reciting what is in Shiv Puran. And they go and they beg Lord Devi, Mother, please give us an answer. Mother, please give us a solution to this problem. If that lingam is not stopped, all the devatas are going and they're coming close, and like a meteorite coming from the heavens, it is burning upon re-entry, it's coming, and if that is not stopped, it will cause destruction. Mother says, in an invisible, unmanifested form, the only person that is geared, that has the body, that has the ability to receive the fervor, the power of Ishwar, Mahadev Baba. He is the male and I am the female. It is only my body that is made to hold him in the male-female procreation that brings this universe. She says, I will hold that lingam in my body. The base part where the lingam sits, that yoni or the female organ, it is as if that is mother holding Shiv Baba. Where mother and father together is one. That is what that lingam is. In the Western world, we put all types of pervertedness. But for the person that understands the power of male and female energy, in Chinese we call yin and yang, and we have the opposites and everything. We have different concepts throughout the world. In African nations, you have the spirits that guide the people in their tribes in different ways. The male and the female, the idea that God, male and female, and from that natural comes all that we know. It is divine. The reproduction process at this level is what breeds the universe. To have the diversity, you cannot have asexual reproduction. You cannot have from one individual everything coming. Then you would only have one thing being repeated. For my children that are, cloning and all the mitosis and all those things. That level, we know better. And in Hinduism, Mother says, I am the equal. I am his counterpart. I will hold him in my body. And in this cup form, she holds him. This is what the lower part of the lingam represents. Mother is holding him up, and as she caught him, the burning, the destruction stopped. The lingam is formed. Prem se bolo Shri Adi Shakti Mata ki Jai. In this discourse, Shiv Baba leaves that place. In the Brahmanda Puran, chapter 27, there's two additions here that is not given in Kurma Puran. I want to touch on it for the purpose of our discourse tonight. The Munis look at him as a normal person, and they wish him harm. They want to destroy him. When somebody comes too close to yours, you want to safeguard your property. Listen to what they do. Jai Jai Radha Ramana Hari Bol. 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 Tasya Sambhadraye Shirasya Shira Muniya Daru Vahana पातल प्रष्ट ये तत् परहम स्वभावना गतः याश्चिद जय जय राधा रमण हरि बोल जय जय राधा रमण हरि बोल जय जय राधा रमण हरि बोल प्रेम से बोलो श्री विष्णु भगवान की जय. In this text of the Brahmanda Puran, Brahmanda refers to that text that deals with the cosmic egg. Where does Brahma start the creation? How does he create? And it has secrets in there that are found. The version of the Ramayana comes from Brahmanda Puran, the Adhyama Ramayana. Beautiful Ramayana, wonderful discourse. Here, the Munis manifest a ferocious tiger, roaring, squealing, and you can see the teeth. And they instruct that tiger destroy him. And as it charges, Lord Shiva, if you ever see a picture where the Trishul manifests now from his hands, four-handed form, the Trishul still has the bowl, the Trishul is used and into the neck of this ferocious animal. He rips the animal open as it attacked him, and he tied it around his waist. To cover himself in front of the woman folk, Lord Shiva accepted this offering. It was as if they didn't realize what they were doing, but they sent it to him. He says to them, you who are engaged in your type of prayer, that is not sanctioned by Ved or Dharma, good code, none of these things. Don't you see this, what you're doing, my friend, is baseless, is nothing, it is not called for. I did not charge, I did not attack. Why are you getting hasty? Why are you attacking me? They get more angry. The people that had control of their prayer, control, cognizant of where God is, God realizes what we say, now lost it. And they make another ferocious animal, a wild, as if charging type elephant is created, and the elephant charges at him and he destroys that animal and he keeps the skin. Sometimes he wears it on top his body, and sometimes he sits on the offering that is given. He accepts the jiv of the animal that comes to his heart, and the body of the animal is used. Till now you will see in this course, in the Indian movies that children will watch, he sits on a grey something, like a grey mat. In those days it didn't have plastic. So that animal, sometimes we see him sitting on deer skin, and the idea is, how did that happen? In this example, the souls of those animals ended up there by virtue of karma, but they charged at the Lord, just like Ravan charged at the Lord, Kans charged at the Lord. And in the moment, you and me might say they die, but we all have to die. Think what I'm saying? We all have to die, but these animals gained salvation because they died at his hands. So they worked for it. They wanted that. That was something they achieved rather than the other way around. This was not an animal destroyed for food or for meat or for play or for hunting. Totally different. The Munis then became more irritated and more aggravated, more aggressive, because he is smiling and everything that they're giving him, he keeps it, he takes it. He says, yes, I came to beg. I came, what else you wish to give me? I'm accepting anything because you have focus. You are looking at me and you want to give me, and I've come to receive. Give to me what you wish. If this is what you have, give to me what you wish. These people were so confused in their prayer. They are so lost in their prayer methodology, that when they would sit to do the powerful mantras, the different dhyanam, it was as if smoke is emanating from their head, and the failure of their body to regulate the energy. For anybody who knows about Shakti, Kundalini energy, Kriya energy, These things talk about the flow, and if there's a chakra, if one of your gate in your body is closed, a person who mismanages the energies or the gifts, the siddhis, the different gifts that God give you, you could end up paralyzed. There are many people, let's just to raise one example. There are many people that want to manifest different forms of God. They know the travels and the gifts that they have, and all respect it. But then there are those that want to abuse it. There are those that want to live a kind of hypocritical lifestyle, eat meat in the day and then call God in the night. Like, for example, in my mind, one person, to my best knowledge, became paralyzed because of that, because God knows the truth. He sees. And when you mismanage these energies, there's going to be consequence. Unfortunate for these fellas, they did not even realize what they were doing to their body, that they were damaging their body, and God comes to show them mercy in a strange way to stop them. Please consider this tonight. It's a nice illustration. But remember this, sometimes you and I are making mistakes and God sends messages. He's talking to you, you know, but you so busy talking to God, do you take time to listen to God? You know, one way God sends a message. I was doing my Durga Puja Baba, Naratam Puja. I made the best sari. You could get tied up with that. I followed the recipe. It came out good. It didn't come out good. I sewed the best flag with all the frills and all the trimmings and everything. You could get distracted with that. I cut the best bamboo, bent straight, twisted. My husband cleaned the joints clean. You could get tied up with that. I have the best Baba coming to do my prayers. You could get tied up with that. I have the best mala. Oh, my mala is looking so hot. I leave in my baby like glass Baba. Put the best Uber. Get tied up with that too. Distracted. In everything I just described, if we pray, many people don't realize that. Imagine you sit down and you actually talk to God from your heart. Dear God, I don't know. Mantra hinam, kriya hinam. I don't know everything. I don't know nothing. I don't know anything. I don't know how to fast. I don't know what it is to do. I don't know about all these Niljal Brat and Pashupati Brat and Shivratri Brat. I know about anything. I know about you, God, and I love you. And I want to learn more. Truthfully. And when the prayer is done, correct me, a little rain drizzle. And you say, ah boy, let God accept my praise. In your own heart, like God was pleased. Sun shining, no cloud in the sky, a little drizzle fall. To send a message, you know what? You did good. And you received the message. You understand that if in that moment alone, God does send us message, but not everybody takes the time to listen. These people had no time. They were so caught up in the fact that they were doing the prayer and they were doing it wrong. People do job, for example, do you remember, I'm saying you know this, where you're sitting to do your prayers, your Shivratri, your offerings, please remember, put kush grass underneath. Please, if you can't get kush grass, you're living abroad. There's one girl, she's living in Minnesota in the States. There's no such thing as kush grass there. I agree. Get your sesame seed and just sprinkle it. And where the sweat of Lord Vishnu is, negative things can't come. It makes the spot holy and safe. We use it in Trinidad, we use it throughout the world. Where that seed is spread, negative, bad cannot come. And that place is transformed into sattvic. So when you go to sit, the energy, the vibration that is coming up in your body is regulated. And in this way, when you do it, it is considered sattvic worship. Nowhere in our text it talks about taking nails and pressing it into your body. And if God loves you, you're going to bleed. People did it with COVID. If you love God, don't put on a mask. And people got sick. If you really believe in God, as some people profess, if your faith is strong, you're not going to get damaged. That there nowhere in our text. Please, to be clear. In Puran, it talks about in the last chapter of the Prit Manjali that the body is gained after much effort. And it is to be utilized like a tool to get you from here to God. When you abuse the body, you are doing wrong. When you abuse the body or neglect the body, more so, you are doing wrong. So when you are negligent under different ambit, you could say, well, you know, I believe in God, I don't believe in vaccine, I believe in God, I don't believe in sickness. You could do what you want. You are putting your life or the life of children and family at risk. So you do what you have to do, and I'm not arguing about vaccine. We are going down that road. I am just saying, when your mask was staying away or doing whatever you could do to be sensible. This is not the only vaccine that exists after all. When we could also talk about drinking and driving, wearing your seatbelt, sexually transmitted disease, because Hindu get AIDS. One person told me Hindus cannot get AIDS because Durga Mata will protect them. I am not even going to say anything to that. Alright? There are many things that we could do to help ourselves. Part of which we've been talking about praschit karma, prayers that allow a person to heal. Faith healing is possible in my opinion, but it must be done properly. It must be done correctly. And when it is done with faith, by following the rules, it's possible. He tells them here, my friends, you are lost. You are so full of vanity. You are so full of egoism that you do not even realize the wrong you are doing. You do not understand why you are doing what you are doing. When a person doing worship does not understand the goal of that worship, think what's in it. The person is doing worship, but they don't understand the goal of that worship. Who is it you are praying to? Why are you praying to them? What it is, this will, how is it to be done, and what will it bring? What is the outcome? How will they be successful, and how will they know if they're doing it correct? Because in your case, oh Brahmanas, you do not realize you are mistaken, you are wrong. When he said that, again the people get vexed, and now they make this huge snake with their, their prayers, black magic. They could do anything, they're powerful now. And now they are trying to fight Lord Shiva. But they don't realize it's Madi Baba. So a huge snake is created by their wish, and the snake darts at Lord Shiva. And he held on to the snake and he tied it around his waist, and he says, I will take that, thank you. So now you understand why he has these things on his body. In our discourses over time, for example, Vasuki or this snake here that is around his neck, somebody asked, why does Lord Shiva have a snake around his neck? When you listen to the Sumatra Matan discourse, when they turn in the ocean and the halal poison was here, Parvati Mata is said to have placed a finger to hold the poison. You tell me if you could hold any liquid in your gullet or your throat or your epiglottis. Me and you, I don't think we that good. She pressed her finger here and she remained out of fear for her husband's life. And Vasuki, the snake that was being like the churning rod, this was a stick, we think it was a snake. He says, Prabhu, I feel as if I have aided in poisoning you. I have caused this because of my role. Please, let me assist my mother, Parvati Mata, let me assist my mother in holding that poison. And Vasuki the snake, this is after the churning had stopped, it was done. And he comes and he wraps around the neck. So as the coils of the snake's body, as he's moving, tightening and gripping, he gripped the what we call the Adam's apple area to block the halal poison from going forward. So Parvati Mata could move her finger. So this snake that is around his neck has a purpose. It is there for a reason. And the utility of what we call the tiger skin, cloth that is holding, like let me just say the lungi effect of Lord Shiva. The snake holds that up, that these munis had attacked him with. And the last thing that is given in the Natraj part, Natraj is not formed in Brahmanda, but in the Sora Puran, when the munis from the Daru Van, they create a Pasmara. A Pasmara is a little dwarf. A little person, powerful person, very angry person. A little demon that Lord Shiva is watching, not a child, but a dwarf person, shortened by genetics. Dragged weapons in his hand and he was ready to attack. And in that moment, Lord Shiva reveals himself. Lord Shiva jumps on the back of that person and revealed to the Munis who he was. There in the Anand Tandav, there are 7 different Tandav parts, participle, with the different mudra. Lord Shiva displays to them his potency. That Tandav dance is done in different discourses. When the Tandav Stotra is firstly chanted by Ravan, that is once, and there are other places where Mahadev Baba dances, and the Tej, the fire, the power that is used to destroy this universe is on display. That Ishwar danced on the back of Apasmara. Apasmara represents the ignorance of the Munis, the last ebb of I don't know, and was the more troubling part, I don't care to know. That entity was made into this little vicious demon. And Lord Shiva jumps on the back of it and starts the dance of all things. As if it was careless. I did not pay this demon too much effort. For children to understand, everybody bear with me. I'm talking for everybody. That pit here, let's watch that pit here one more time, Mommy Baba. That pit here, I want to be very clear. Lord Shiva is not dancing on a little baby. We're going to have it now. Look out, and I'll put it up on Facebook and TikTok, etc. He is on the back of this little dwarf. That's why he looks small in many different forms. This is just one. That is why he's so small. And that little form represents ignorance. Look at the blaze in this black and white picture. You're not seeing it, but I'll put it colored for you to see the Tej, the fire. It is as if he's on fire and the flames are spreading from his body of knowledge. Good. Chapter 4 Bhagavad Gita says that knowledge, supreme knowledge, godly knowledge, will ferry you like a raft. The knowledge will take you like a raft over your sins. Chapter 4 Bhagavad Gita. It's there. The value of knowledge. Mahadev Baba took the moment to give them darshanam. Darshan. What is darshan? Darshanam is the type of prayer where I get blessings because my bhakti, it is a form of bhakti where I love to see the Lord. I love to see his murti. They're going to have a parade with the Bhagavat in the village, the Bhagavat coming. And they're going to walk with the book on the road. They're going to parade the murti. Ganesh Utsav is coming. And I get to see that parade. I get to see Ganesh Baba. I come out of my house just to pay pranam. I get to see the Yagya on the television. Because of my stroke, I can't reach to the Yagyashala. But I get to see him by seeing praise. Do you know that? By seeing praise, you get the blessing as if you had done the praise. Because of this, tell me if this, send me a message here tonight. Tell me if you've ever heard this. Did you grow up in a home with grandparents, maybe, or elders, or your parents say, well, your mausi, your kaki, your kaka having praise and are going to see the praise. Are going to witness the wedding. I am going to see the funeral. Why? What's the big harp on seeing? Darshanam is a form of bhakti that whenever worship or any type of godly act is being done, the person who witnessed the worship gets the blessing as if they did it with their own hands. So elders, from when I was small, I always wondered why these people frontish boy. Mommy, Baba, just watch my hand. Why the old people used to rush for the front row? Think what I'm saying? This is the catch. They want to see the praise. Literally, if you sit on the front row, you might see the baby. They want to go and see the praise. Many people today don't have that. They don't see the sense in going to see somebody else worship. But you don't understand. You are ignorant. Just like Apasmara represented the ignorance of all these people that was doing puja. Please see what Lord Shiva is doing for you and I. He's dancing on the ignorance that lives within us. He is dancing on the monster that lives within us. And even Gita, I'm just quoting Gita, the knowledge is the raft to carry us against our karma over what is causing our suffering. The karma is the root cause of all the troubles and hardships and the bad things that you are worried and frightened and beaten up about. Then the knowledge about God and this life is what will give you what you're looking for. It gives you a way to overcome it. Then we need to get Mario Baba on top of that monster boy. We need to spend time in understanding what is to be done, what is not to be done. Pay attention. For example, just a point, if we do the Bilva Ashtakam, when you're offering bay leaves, I don't know if Shivratri is coming, I'm saying it, I don't know if you noticed. I get many blessings by offering bay leaf on the lingam, agreed. And I try to turn it over because of what lives, as put at Ashtakam, we could do it tomorrow night, what lives on the surface of the lingam, so I put it face down. But if it is damaged, if it has tears, if it has holes, then the person is going to inherit eyesight problems. There's a reaction for that. There's a accountability for that. When you have that type of knowledge, and this is just one iota of an example of the knowledge I am referring to, then you will not go and offer 1,000 bad bay leaf. And you understand when I say bad what I mean? The season is dry, the trees go through something and they start to tear and they grow bad. I understand that, but the quality of your gift is what matters, not the quantity. It is better to offer 1 or 3 good bay leaf in this example than 1,000,000 bad ones. People that are living abroad cannot get bay fruit, and they cannot get all the intricate things that we offer in Trinidad, in the Caribbean, in the warm countries. In India, they have more. But sometimes it's not necessarily what you're offering in the puja. As I said in the beginning, a person can sit down and they're offering all the ingredients. Everything the Baba tell them to get, they offer it. But the hand that is holding the parasa, the sindoor and the chandan also matters. The person, the way you sit down and you talk to him, the way you look at him, that matters. Last night we identified the 5 things that you offer for Shivratri, and one of them was singing for him. I can't sing. As you can see, I have a croaking, choking voice. I'm not a professional. I really am not. But for Shivratri night, Jai Shiva, Jai Shiva, Jai Shiva Om. Mare Baba, I cannot sing. But Lord, tonight I have to sing for you. This is part of the prayer, so I'm going to do it. You don't decide. You see, that part, I will leave out that part. Then you come like these people. Then the dwarf, the apasmara, the little Jambi, he active inside of you because you so activated in ignorance. You think you could dictate the pace. Imagine this. Imagine, let me just put it in a different way for children to understand. Tell me if I'm making sense. If I'm talking craziness, tell me. You predicting what you could do in prayers is like if I saw a recipe, chocolate cake. If Darius watching you, tell me I'm talking about making cake. Chocolate cake recipe, Baba, follow this, put that, put the other, put it in the oven. You'll get the cake. Me I'm going to put baking powder, me I'm going to put chocolate. Why put chocolate for? Me I'm going to put it. But when the cake coming out of the oven, you know Baba vexed the cake areas and they're brown. But in that ignorance, you didn't understand what that ingredient did. What is the value of that ingredient? And likewise, just as how we may not be aware of the rules for the bay leaf, we may not understand the lashback of doing things poorly. So in the example, please join with me. Let's just do a couple of verses as we express our love to Lord Shiva. I'm finishing soon, don't worry. Jai Shiva, Jai Shiva, Jai Shiva Om. Jai Shiva, Jai Shiva, Jai Shiva Om. Jai Shiva, Shiva, Jai Shiva Om. Jai Shiva, Shiva, Jai Shiva Om. Lord Shiva, I don't need a mic, I don't need a drum, I don't need organ, I don't need skills to sing for you. Dear God, when you know it's trouble, you thank God when things going good. Don't be ignorant. Know who taking care of you. Know who is taking care of you. Know who is taking care of you and show that gratitude. As that teach in that discourse where he's Natraj and he's showing them the beauty of that form, with that left leg lifted and the right foot planted securely on that dwarf, suppressing that ignorance. Lord Shiva is truly the teacher. He is truly Jagat Guru, because the one that gives the knowledge, the Guru, the teacher. Gu, remember, in case you never noticed, Gu means darkness, ignorance. I didn't know, not to be confused with arrogance, ignorance. I don't know. Ru is the light that moves the darkness. So the teacher that is bringing the information, it could be the person who tell you how to live, the school teacher, Vidya Guru, spiritual teacher, Diksha Guru, all gurus. Because you take many sources to make a fulfilled life. Mommy, daddy, etc. Right? All has a value, all have their knowledge, and all put together to make you. Mahadev Baba, in this example, whenever you see that Murti, never, from today, never misunderstand it. Ignorance is under his foot, and under the guide of this teacher, the student, you and I, the Shishya, we are secure. The Munis saw Lord Shiva, and they pulled back out of fear. They became very afraid. They became aware. In Kurma Puran, when they realized that, well, in this one they didn't have I'm saying it, they did not have, in Shiv Puran, it does not have the Nataraj form. In the Saura Puran, there is where it comes. But in this one, when he took the tiger and he took the snake and he took the elephant, they realized this is somebody not normal, not a normal beggar. And they run as he disappeared from the scene. They go to Brahma and they beg, please, we need help. We were doing prayers in the Daru Forest, and so happened. And then we realized that this personality was greater than what we mistook him to be. And Lord Vishnu appears there, and he says that person which is without robes, that person which is eternal, is known as Shiva Mitika. He is the supreme Brahman from which creation comes. You witness him and me in that Mohini Roop, and he came there to show you how lost the women, the young ones, how you became angry, how you became dumbfounded by ignorance and all your worship. Were you really in charge? And he wanted to teach you the lesson that when you follow the rules, when you follow the discretionary powers that is given in the Ved, that is listed because from the lips of God, it is a guide for you and I. Dear Munis, that person is teaching you what to do, because all your prayers was for naught. It did not help you in your time of need, and you were rooted in Tamogun, and he wants to raise you into Sattva, into the Sattvic Gun as it is listed in the Smriti. The one you witness that came there in that form that took the tiger's skin and all these things, he is the father of Shashta, he is the father of Kartik, he is the father of Ganapati. And this Leela, he is called Vishwadrik, the seer, the one who has the vision for the universe. He is the one going. He never takes birth. He never takes death. He expands and recoils, the energy. Devi is sitting with him. And he is the one progressing this universe. You didn't know him. With all your prayer, with all your knowledge, your so-called knowledge, he came there and you did not recognize him. Go and seek his forgiveness. Go and beg his forgiveness. Without that darshan, you will pay utterly for that shrap. The pain you cause this whole universe when the lingam falls, for causing that, you will have to answer for it. Everybody else will get blessings when they do the worship for the lingam. You and I have a lingam today because of this. But those souls, they are in a precarious situation, and they go in front of Shiv Baba. He's now on Mandara mountain by himself, waiting for them, as it were. All the families, the men, the women, the children, they all go to him seeking forgiveness. What praschit. Tonight, please listen. If this is the first time you're hearing this discourse, From various texts, I'm pulling the information for you and I'm putting it in a way for you to understand. We all make mistakes. We all are growing in devotion. I agree. When you don't know, find out. Don't just do things because it feels right. You could be, like in the example with the bay leaf, you could be damaging yourself. Like the example of the holding it bad and losing all the merit. You could be doing it to yourself, and this would put you in a type of, you're spinning top in mud because I'm doing the prayers, but me I seeing my way. I'm doing the prayers, but me ain't seen change. Tonight, as I conclude, we've spoken about like the kush grass or the sesame seed under your mat. We've spoken about the mala. We've spoken about your knowledge, the value of that knowledge. The way we offer bay leaf, for example, to elucidate and just to illustrate the point that when we do prayers correct, when we know our Shiva, when we know his form, maybe we will have a better attraction and a better affinity to him. If this is the first time you've heard why he wears the tiger, sits on the elephant skin, some people like in this one, they illustrate the tiger is the same tiger, this snake around his neck, all these things. This is who you pray to. Shouldn't you know him? If you never knew the Rudraksh meant the eyes of Lord Shiva, or the history of the Lord of the Rudraksh Mala, think about what I'm saying tonight. All these were just to catch you, to show you, listen, there's more to him. Lord Shiva has more, and to bring the attention span of children to him. So when you sit down in front of him, I would like that you remember all these wonderful discourses. And if we have to go over it, if we have to read it over, just hit my message. Read, if you're watching these over, because they're all going to be loaded on YouTube, and if you want to watch it over, it's there for you. There's over 100 satsang on my YouTube channel. Search my name and you'll find it. Subscribe to the channel and you'll be able to pull any satsang you want. And I invite you to learn about your Lord Shiva. Lord Shiva's night is coming. And this is why I wanted to do these type of satsang. It's not only to say we're doing Yagna, but to put meaningful discourses. I'm a person, I feel very strongly about teaching. For this reason, even here in the ashram, as you all would know, we have classes with Guruji, and he's teaching Sanskrit, Hindi 2, Ramayana 1, Ramayana 2, Gita, and in the coming semester we're expanding courses. And our group of students is only growing. All I'm saying is, rather than waste time, because troubles are coming, if you're interested, get in contact with me. I'll post up my number and join the classes, learn. Join my WhatsApp group so that you can learn more. Follow me and you'll be able to learn more. I'm putting it out there. I'm reaching you on your device to make it easy for you to learn about who? Your Lord Shiva. So that when Shivratri night comes and you're sitting in front of your lingam, and I want you to remember where that lingam came from, and we just grazed over it, there's a lot more to understand the value of doing the worship. Why do we pour the milk? Why are we bathing this with milk and dahi and cooling things? What is the value? Why in the last year where we did with the Shivratri, we talked about why we don't arti like this. Do you know you arti a lingam like this? If you do, send me a message. If you don't, send me a message. Come on. Too often we go to Yag when we're in the temple. 200, 300, 400 people come and they sit down together. Let's be fair. Babaji, the Vyas is on his singhasan, whoever he is. He gives a wonderful discourse. The pravachan is singing, drumming, everything perfect. Parsad, best. But the points that you don't know, the questions you have, you came with it, and chances are you go home with it. Because it seems as if there's never a point to talk, to ask a question. And by throwing out my WhatsApp, please, I don't want no psychos. I have enough. I want you to communicate and say, Baba, you know what, between me and you, I don't know about that. I don't know what we do. I don't know, I want to know more about the Agora. I saw CNN, they are special on it, and it was scary. Could you tell me more about it? And in this way, it is a method and a means to provide you the knowledge of your Baba. In my mind, I'm doing my job as a pundit, I'm doing my duty. and I'm simply facilitating the exchange of knowledge about Mahadev Baba. I'll get blessing, you'll get blessing. God love. Tonight I hope you enjoyed our discourse. And as we are coming to the end, what happens to the Munis and them? They stood there. And Lord Shiva opened his eyes when their heads were bowed and they're crying. And he takes the ash from Hawan, ash from different places, and he takes the basma that he is smearing his body with, and he takes the basma and he throws it on them. And he says, from the basma snan, the bathe of the ash, let your body, let your karma cut. Let your load of sin, sickness cut and be freed. Prem Solo Mahapati Mahadeva ki jai. For this reason, whenever people wear their yantra, their guards, their protection, janta and so on, you begin by passing basma or the ashes from the Pandit or the Guru's Hawan first. When we finish with Shivratri, and after all that Hawan, if you've ever done Shivratri with me, you will see that when we're finished, we take the basma and we wear it upon our body. Because of moments like this, this is not the only one. Basma is really discussed in Shiv Puran, where it says that the basma is what, this is not to be confused with Basmasur and Mohini. These are different discourses. Somebody asked me that. Basma going upon the body reduces the karma, negative karma. It purifies the body. So when the person finishes the vrat, the basma from the hawan of all the jap that they would have done is something is sought after. So if you're looking about Kumbh Mela or you see the Nala sadhus or a Shiv Bhakt, you will see a lot of ash. They look very white. They paste. Imagine I cup ashes in my hand, mix it with a little water so it get thick. And I'm going to massage my body. I am going to put it in my hair. And I'm going to put it all over as I am striving to become purified of the sin. And this is where it came from. That the people who were making mistakes in their prayer, even they got salvation. Even they got the blessings of the Lord. There was a little road for it to pass, and you and I benefited from this discourse in the form of the Lingam, in the form of Natraj. How many people for how many centuries Hinduism from the Indus Valley, Mohenjo Daro, and other ancient places celebrated that Nataraj. That knowledge overcoming ignorance is so potent and integral in our life till today. Because if we remain ignorant to the facts, then the loss of life, making poor decisions for yourself, endangering family, don't caring to have gratitude even to God, to say, dear God, thank you for today. These things become common. When you don't know what is to be done and what is not to be done, that is what Gita says, you have become a demonic individual. Arjuna asks, how would you know if someone is divine or demonic? He says, demonic people never know what is the right thing to do. And that inability to make the right decision comes from ignorance. I don't know what to do. So, part of your prayer this Shivratri, tonight as I'm wrapping up, remember, dear Lord, suppress the Jambi inside of me. Suppress that apas mara, not apsara, apas mara. Suppress the ignorance inside of me. Sit in my intellect. Have you ever seen when we're doing puja? We bow. The diya, we bow. Why do you do that? Last point, take the energy of your God, take the energy of the diya, and sit on my intellect right here. In my intellect, my choices, my allergies, my likes. I like food with the dal and the rice one side. I like it like that. I like to tuck in my shirt and my pants. The perfume I like. I don't like this. I don't like the things that make you who you are based on choices. Please supercharge my thinking ability, what we say the intellect, and allow me to make better choices. Drink today, don't drink. Gamble today, don't gamble. Beat wife today, don't beat wife. Go the Venezuelan, don't go the Venezuelan. Spend time with my son, don't spend time with my son. Choices. And when Lord Shiva dances on the back of the ignorance that live inside of your body, and the full energy of that Nataraj is exposed in you, is dancing in you, then you become empowered to make the right, knowledgeable choices. And as in Gita he says it, that knowledge becomes the raft that takes you across this life. Prem Sabalomapati Mahadeva Ki Jai. I hope you enjoyed your discourse tonight, and I hope you took the time to share the satsang so that other people could view it. If you're watching on YouTube in the repeat, please share it still. Subscribe to the station, everybody. I need your support. For those of you that follow me on TikTok, please, I need more followers so that we can go live on TikTok for the younger ones to get it. Please join with me on all these social media platforms, if social media be a thing, and look forward to tomorrow night discourse. If you have a request, I'm still trying to figure out what to read. These days we're busy with prayers, but I'm making time to read not the normal discourse. I'll leave that for other Babas to read, but something different to catch the attention. Last night we dealt with the daughter of Lord Shiva. Maybe we'll deal with one of the sons, a different one. How's that? Or the five-headed form of Lord Shiva. Would you like to hear that discourse? Please send me a message. Somebody, have you ever heard the discourse of how Lord Shiva, or why, or what it represents? What's the benefit of the five-headed form of Lord Shiva? Just give me, it's just a thought. Give me a word and I'll get back to you. Tonight, when I'm finished, I'll spend some time in the comments and I'll get back to you. Everybody, I wish you a safe night. It's a carnival weekend in Trinidad. At least for those of you here in this country, please be safe on the roadways. Bandits are not coming in one car anymore. They're coming in cars. They're coming in groups. And they're attacking people's homes one after the other. Please be cautious. Every time you watching all your, make sure and lock up. COVID finished, but a different disease is about to kick off. In this world, there's a lot of unrest. We have to pray. You would say that, that war is all the way in Ukraine. Please remember, in Ukraine, they make all the wheat that feeds Europe and other places. And if that goes down, based on what we've seen on the news, flour prices, other commodities that we import throughout this world, we're going to be negatively impacted. We need to pray for peace, and we need to pray to Jagat Guru, dear God, guide everybody in this world. Can't we have a peaceful, less pollution, more compassion type world? If we could make vaccines in a record time, can't we bring peace in record time? We need that type of divine knowledge, that knowledge to do the right thing, to save humans. This morning I was watching news and I saw how many bodies dead from blown up apartment buildings and home. People are scampered. And if you look at these things and you think, oh, that's all the way there, then, my friend, I'm watching you. Do you have compassion in you? Or is it only when it's your sister, your daughter in the question, in the harm, in the damage, in the damned, in the dead position? Only then it matters. One person dying in this so-called war because of threat is too much. One person dying because of all the fat on the boat and all the different things that are causing it to become spreading is too much. Every life has value. As a Hindu, every life has value. No one is better than another one. And we must do what we must do to safeguard ours. Please ensure the safety of your family. Be careful on the roadways. As we conclude tonight, and we'll come tomorrow night, we'll nearly finish, everybody. Halfway there already. Send me a message about what discourse you'd like to hear. Everybody, God bless you and have a wonderful night from us here at the Ashram. Priya Mata, thank you for helping us with that pitiya. Look out for the pitiya, everybody. I'll send it for you after. Let's join our hands as we conclude. Tvameva Mata Chapita Tvameva Tvameva Bandhuscha Sakha Tvameva Tvameva Vidya Dravinam Tvameva Tvameva Sarvam Mama Deva Deva Tvameva Sarvam Mama Deva Deva Om Shanti 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 Hari Om. Prem Sabalomapati Mahadeva ki Jai. Pavan Sutta Hanuman ki Jai. Shri Adi Shakti Mata ki Jai. Vrindavan Lal ki Jai. Satya Sanatan Dharma ki Jai. Jai Jai. Sitaram. Sitaram, everybody. Have a wonderful night. Be safe until tomorrow. Remember, tomorrow is Vijaya Ekadasi. Get up in the morning at a minimum. Light the day for Lord Vishnu. A Gidia. Offer a little dar, a little prayer, a little job if you can't move and you're on the bed. If just 12 times. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Narayanaya. Gayatri Mantra. All these things are fine. And we'll see tomorrow evening as we do a wonderful discourse again. Everybody, Sitaram. Bye-bye.